Vega, he ain't make it out. I'm talking 12. I ain't talking Rogers, he just got a bill, can find a cell. Now they in my house, he going back to jail. Took like 3 P's, got some coke.
Yo, what is up, Diamond family? It's your man Vivi, and welcome back to the VVS Academy. As you guys know, I'm here every week dropping off gems, teaching you to record and mix your music better. So if that sounds good to you, stick around, man. Look, I got a crazy video for you guys today. Today we're answering the question, which version of Pro Tools do you need? Can you get by with the free version, Pro Tools Intro? Do you need to get Artist or Studio, something like that costs a little bit? I'm gonna be showing you guys the drawbacks of using the free version and really how powerful it is, getting you a track just like the one you just heard. That's all with Pro Tools Intro. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it, man. But look, if you're still struggling to get your vocals to balance out perfectly, and look, I'm not gonna overtalk it, but if you're still struggling to get your vocals, now 1, 2, 3. Look, I won't even overtalk it. If you're still struggling to balance out your vocals and your beat perfectly every single time, check out my free course down below. It's going to teach you to balance out your vocals and your beat flawlessly every single time. It takes about 15 minutes. The technique works, oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3. But look, man, if you're still struggling to balance out your vocals and your beat perfectly every single time, check out my free mixing course down below. It's going to teach you a simple technique for balancing out your vocals and your beat flawlessly every single time. It takes about 15 minutes. You can use the technique in any DAW. Check it out, man. It's completely free down below. All right, speaking of free, let's jump into the free version of Pro Tools and hear again what it's capable of.
Flying through the jails, called a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out. Ran up in the Vega, he ain't make it out. I'm talking 12, I ain't talking Rogers, he just got a bill, can find a cell. Now they in my house, he going back to jail. Took like 3 P's.
All right, bet. So as you can hear, it sounds like a regular song. It sounds just like any other Pro Tools songs that we will mix for the most part. So there are some trade-offs. We're going to talk about the limitations first. So the number one limitation in using Pro Tools Intro, the first version, is that there's a track count. You can't use more than a certain number of tracks. So if you're going to be doing a lot of stacks, a lot of dubs, a lot of ad-libs, I believe the track count is only at 8. So 8 mono channels, which is what you would generally record like an ad lib on or a verse or something like that, right? So if you're going to be doing a whole lot of layers on your vocals, this will not work for you. But if you generally record like, a single track for your verse, or maybe 2 tracks for your verse, 2 tracks for your ad libs, 2 or 3 tracks like that, you maybe can get away with using the free version of Pro Tools Intro. So you can see the way I have it set up here is the same way I set up any other session for recording. So this first channel here is going to be our beat. We'll keep our beat here and make sure the first thing we do is turn it down. So you'll notice that we're actually able to use third-party plugins in this free version of Pro Tools. This is a new feature. When there was another version, I think it was called Pro Tools First before it was Pro Tools Studio or Pro Tools Intro, my bad. Pro Tools First didn't allow you to use third-party plugins, so you were very limited, and I couldn't recommend it at all. But this version, you can use third-party plugins, which means Auto-Tune, Waves Tune, your CLA effects, your whatever you use. As you can see, my mix is covered in Slate Digital plugins. Whatever you use, you will be able to use those plugins even in the free version of Pro Tools. So the number one limitation that you're going to run into is the number of tracks that you're able to use, right? So if you're okay with the number of tracks, the second thing that's going to trip you up is going to be the number of auxiliary channels. So you'll notice generally I would have a mix bus here, but instead we're running all of these things directly to our monitor out, or our master fader. So we don't get the mix bus here, and that's because we couldn't really afford another auxiliary channel. So we have 4 right here. And I actually also had to delete the click track because that counts as an auxiliary channel. So I'm sending all of my vocals to this bus. Then we have a reverb setup, we have an echo setup, and a P-comp. These are the 3 main ones that I think you need for every, rap vocal, for every track that you're gonna record. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the things that I was able to do working around those limitations. Like I said, the big 2 are gonna be the number of tracks that you can use and the number of auxiliary channels that you can use. So if I wanted to add another bus effect, like say I wanted to use the CLA effects, or I wanted to use the storage filter, or something that I would use to affect my vocals or anything like that, I don't have any more space to do that. I could only add it directly to the channel or directly to my vocal bus. So it kind of ties your hands a little bit, and you get a limited number of inserts within Pro Tools. So you have to be flexible. You have to be creative. If you can get around those 2 things, I think using Pro Tools Intro, the free version, along with a $10 or $15 Slate subscription every month is like the engineering cheat code, man. Like if you're struggling to like record professionally and you don't really know what to use, you don't have a whole lot of money, I would pick up Pro Tools Intro for free, and then I would subscribe to Slate Digital for $10 a month, $15 a month. I can't remember what the price point is, but it's fairly cheap. And so for $15 a month, you get your pitch correction, your auto-tune covers, you get all your compressors you need, all the bus effects you need. Literally everything you could ask for comes with Slate Digital. It's like $15 a month. And they just added like all of the SSL plugins. They added so many crazy new plugins that didn't raise the price. I mean, look, this isn't sponsored. I'm not sponsored by Slate Digital. Slate Digital, if you're watching, go ahead and sponsor me, man. I'm really preaching how great you guys are. Like, it's just an incredible value, and I think you guys should definitely pick it up. So let's dive into some of the things that I was able to do. I'm going to take off pretty much everything I have here. And then from there, we will kind of peel back what we did. So let's go ahead and just bypass these mix bus things. You can kind of really hear what the track sounds like without everything in here. So I would do this a little bit quicker if I were using both hands, but unfortunately, I've only got one hand because I'm holding this mic. All right, so let's play back what we have here. The only thing I left on was the loudness meter so that I could, see how loud everything is. And then this is just a DS, so we can bypass that as well. I'm not going to play back without any tone or anything, so let's hear it.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out. Ran up in the Vic and he ain't make it out. I'm talking 12, I ain't talking Roger, he just got a bill, can find a sale, now they in my house.
And I mean, honestly, that still sounds great here. We'll go ahead and take off some of the effects as well.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out. Ran up in the Vic and he ain't make it out. I'm talking 12, I ain't talking Roger, he just got a bill, can find a sale, now they in my house, he going back to jail. Took like 3.
Because the process is the same, like nothing changes. The sound engine that's used is the same across all the Pro Tools versions. The workflow is the same, which is really the biggest benefit. You get to use the exact same workflow, the exact same shortcuts, the exact same process in Pro Tools, where you're getting the biggest benefit from recording. So definitely let's go there. So what I used was, like I said, I just used some Slate Digital plugins, but we could have easily done this with stock. The main thing that you should take away from this is that you don't have to spend a crazy amount of money on your DAW. I get emails all the time like, yo, which version should I go with for Pro Tools? Should I just spend, I think it's $700 and just pay for it outright? What should I do, right? This free version is going to give you, you can just update you can just download the next free version when it comes out. Like, there's so much freedom in just using like the tools that come with the program. I get a lot of emails from people that are like, yo, I got Pro Tools 10. Can I still use Pro Tools 10? And I'm just like, come into 2024, download this free version and watch what happens for you. So from that recording we had, I felt like the vocal needed some EQ. So I'm gonna just show you guys exactly the slight moves that I made. And you see, these are just very general moves, very general EQ moves that I made here. And I'll just let you guys hear kind of one by one as we brought these things in. So the EQ for the vocal.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded.
Real quickly, so I added this clipper here, and that's really what's giving us a lot of level to our vocals. To our overall track. So I'm gonna bypass it and bring it back and you'll see.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out. Ran up in the Vic and he ain't make it out. I'm talking.
Run it back.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out. Ran up in the Vic and he ain't make it out.
What that clipper does, it raises the volume of everything without letting it distort, without letting it cross 0 dB and take us into the red, take us into distortion or into clipping, right? So these other things are just some general kind of compressors and things to hold the track together, just to give it a little bit more glue. You can kind of hear the difference when I bring these things in as well.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out. Ran up in the Vic and he ain't make it out.
Really, if you just wanted to stop there, you could, but we'll go to the actual channel. So I just added some compression, really is what we're doing here. I think there might be some EQ. Yes, there's 3 compressors here, as well as an EQ channel. This is my channel strip emulation that makes my entire mix sound as if we're running it through a large format mixing console. And then from there, well, I'll let you hear what the compression sounds like as well.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out. Ran up in the Vic and he ain't make it out.
What that does is just make the vocals sound more present and more legible, meaning that it doesn't dip up and down. It's a lot more consistent. You hear every word kind of at the same level, and that just gives you a more professional sounding vocal. And again, you can dial all this in with just the free version of Pro Tools. This is another free plugin. All I did was it's working as an EQ and a compressor at the same time, so it's compressing this specific frequency whenever it crosses this threshold. The frequency looks like it's 610, so let's see.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out, ran up in the vacant, he ain't make it out, I'm talking 12.
Perfect. And then the last thing we did was just a de-esser. If you specifically listen to him say talking 12, you can hear like how it cuts the S's a little bit, makes it a little bit more controlled.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out, ran up in the vacant, he ain't make it out, I'm talking 12, I ain't talking Roger.
So you still get the actual high end from it, but it's just controlled more. And that's just another secret to why your songs don't really quite sound professional. You got to control them completely, man. The frequencies, the dynamics, everything. Look, these are the tips I'm giving you guys week in and week out. If you need a little bit more help, drop me a line down below. My name is Vivi, and I'm here for you. Remember to stay humble, make diamonds only. Peace.
Flying through the jails, caught a charge, now we in and out, got bonded out, ran up in the vacant, he ain't make it out, I'm talking 12, I ain't talking Roger.